Just remember, I do these videos just for myself to learn from, and I don't do this for anybody else. But if you happen to stumble upon them, um, I hope you learned something. But if you're a beginner or any kind of trader, please don't take my advice because I'm still a beginner and I still am learning myself. I feel like I'm an intermediate trader slash beginner, but I've been trading. Not my performance hasn't been well, but the dollar amount has. But still, my performance is number one thing. But what I'll be going over today is I'm going to be talking about ticker symbol GRE, which is on the 29th of September, ticker symbol ALSN, which is on the 30th of September, and ticker symbol AVIR. Yeah, AVIR, which is um, on October 1st. Sorry that I haven't spread it out this much. I just haven't made. I've been procrastinating on making videos, and I've been overwhelmed. I got an exam that I got to prep for that I'm nowhere near ready for, so I've been stressed out. But going in today, I made a video a few days ago, and I think I forgot to mention GREN. But from what I can remember from this trade, was that um, honestly I just chased it. This trade was I just chased this stock. I can remember that it had just spiked. I don't think I was watching it. No, I think I remember I was trading QS, and QS was just, from what I remember, this was on the 29th. Um, so QS, I can remember now. Um, I kept telling myself on ticker symbol QS to get the fuck out because, um, you know, if you see here, I even see it popping. As you see here, it had spiked. I shorted, and then it started tumbling down. I told myself to get out, but I think because I went in with such small shares, I didn't feel like getting out. It squeezed on me, added, and I got no chance to get out. It just kept going, and I had one chance to get out, and another chance here for a small loss. And I didn't take it, and at this point, at a higher day, I was down over $5,000 and or almost $5,000, and it was one of my biggest uh, one of my biggest unrealized losses ever. Um, I wrote down it was top worst undisciplined this trade, but it was not. It was a really bad loss. I don't know if I went in full size or not. I went in with 1,000, so yeah, I must have been down so much it was ridiculous. But probably my worst P&L ever. Or one of them was the five. One of my trades were $5,000 unrealized loss. Um, but eventually it pulled back so much, and I broke even. I mean, I can talk about this for days. How much emotional roller coasters I was going through, but I can't even remember how. I know how I felt, but I can't remember everything about it, so I'm not even going to talk about it too much. But I remember looking at this stock and telling myself to get out because GR, excuse me, GRE is giving me such a great opportunity. But I never got out because, and I missed a chance to trade GRE the way I wanted to. So with GRE, I was so frustrated with, and I don't even know how I traded GRE on the same day I traded this other stock, but I was so frustrated um, at the fact that um, um, I was so frustrated at the fact that I was not performing well and I got out so fast because you know it was just a dumb trade. Honestly, if I look at it, what time I got out, um, I got out at 11, and yeah, QS was a dumb trade, but this is also was a dumb mistake that I made. Um, I got out at 11, went into another trade 2 hours later, and GREE, um, excuse me, I was supposed to be shorting either here or here. I told myself to watch it because it looks like it's just gonna spike and just crash for the rest of the day. It's gonna be a one first green day, and then that's it. Um, uh, and I was right, honestly. Of course, it spiked a little bit more than what I expected, but I was right. So right after I saw that, I saw that it bounced here, and I didn't want to get in because I wasn't comfortable. But once I saw that it broke um, this lower day here, uh, once I saw it broke this lower day, I knew okay, it's gonna fade for the rest of the day. So then I waited for a bounce. I waited for a perk up, and I shorted here and just let it ride all the way to the bottom. Or not to the bottom, but I just let it ride. And honestly, and I just let it ride. Of course, I was uncomfortable the whole way in every trade. You know, it's gonna be like that. I think I was up. I think I was in more shares than this. I think I was in like 500 shares. I ended up making $542 on this trade, so I know for sure I made. I was in 500 shares because I try to make that the least I was sizing to. But I guess you know the main thing in this trade was really the fact that I chased it. Um, Honestly, I wasn't disciplined enough to get out, and then I chased it a little bit, shortened that lower day. But I knew okay, it broke. Um, I know it broke lower day, so I'm like okay, it broke lower day. This could just be turning for the worst now. But the main thing was to get out of QS with a quick profit and short from near the top or near the top, which I didn't. I'm really disappointed in myself for that. I could have done much better. This could have been such a great trade. Um, and then as you can see, I'm shorting here, but you can clearly see, okay, it breaks, it goes low. I didn't get out, consolidates, still didn't get out, perks up, you didn't get out, and then this trades, it trends downwards, and I still didn't get out after it broke here. So that's a sign I can already tell that I wasn't disciplined enough to get out. I was probably thinking about the money and perks up, downtrends, um, and probably got out just before after hours. Yeah, just before after hours I got out. Um, you know, I can easily say, it's towards the end of the day. It should fade for the rest of the day because I got in at 1 o'clock, 1:14, 1314, 1314, and then um, I just let it fade because I knew it was gonna fade, or probability and statistic wise, it's gonna fade. But the main thing is, you had your big chance at near the top here, and then you know you shouldn't even be, even though like you knew it could just keep going on forever. You shouldn't be trading and stuff like this. But thankfully I got in with smaller size. But shorting from lower day, you should never be shorting from lower day. That's one of the rules. That's one of the criteria, and it makes complete sense. Some good time you taught me that, but still, you should never do that. Um, so that's September 29th. That's all I traded. And then I went into took a symbol ALZN. Um, I'm really stupid right now. I traded it on the 30th, so let's see. A friend of mine just retired from the NFL after 10 years. I didn't even know he did 10 years in the NFL. But that breaks my heart that he retired. I don't even imagine how he feels. Maybe he's happy, but hey, so I'm trying to get to this. Oh, my children are not showing me. Definitely don't remember how I traded this. My other friend who went to the NFL, he got dropped from his team. My team, my favorite team, Green Bay Packers, and he he decided to go and be a stockbroker, and he's like, oh, I wish you would have got to play, man. And his little brother is about their little brother. They're both brothers, and now their third brother is going to go into the draft this year. So it's like, congratulations to him. But honestly, trading this just based off of my memory, trying to remember, I made 1,576. But I just remember going all in, and I'm laughing as if it's funny, but it's not. But I just remember, you know, of course you can see here it has perk up market. After a while, it perked up. Past its, I don't know what it did. But all I remember was that it perked up, it spiked up, pulled back, perked up again. Um, I got to it at this point, and I was risking off of not higher day here, but off of this bounce. Um, $3.33. I honestly I got in too much, um, and I was nerve wrecked. I think I went in with $77,000, which is triple the amount of my account. Which you should never be going that much. But honestly, I made that mistake. Um, I was in. It says I bought these many shares, but I know it was worse. But I know I bought more, covered with more shares. But all I remember is I shorted, risking here. I think I was risking like 100 or 2, maybe 3. Um, then it just, I guess it just faded. I added because I saw that okay, maybe it wasn't going to go higher. Um, I added what just how many shares? To another 2,000 shares. So I think I was in like 6,000 shares in total. I think this was a stock, and luckily I covered covered all my shares, and it bounced. And looking back now, I can only ask myself what made me get out. And honestly, it was probably just sideways price action, or it was just like I was satisfied. Most likely, I was satisfied with the game. I remember I was up over $1,700, but I ended up taking just 15. Um, but I was satisfied with this game, and I probably got impatient with the way it was trending. But um, thankfully, I got out, even though I wouldn't have been down on the entire trade if I stayed in with this bounce. Excuse me. I would have been down most of it, which I wouldn't want to go through. But one thing I've been learning so far is just it's really just about being mindful, also being patient with your entries, getting at near your risk levels, not just getting in because you think it's gonna go up, and just getting out if it hits your not your target goal, but like that cent range, or if you see it not trending the way you want, if it's going sideways, starting to build momentum. But like I believe and say, I think I know I need a lot. Oh, it's just seriously annoying. I believe that I need a lot of improvement. I need a lot of work. And every day I'm getting better, honestly. But you know, there's a lot of improvement that I need to do. Not only that, um, you know, so far I've made like 18 bands, and with I made some money in the stock market, so it's like I keep telling myself, if things go bad, I can just replenish my account with some money, but and I don't think I'll ever use the entire money that I just made. I'll probably use some of it, but um, I just got to be intelligent not to get back on my gains or have to go under the PDT rule. Um, but really, I don't know what made me get out, but I'm glad I got out. I know for sure I was aiming for 1,000 or plus. I remember aiming for 2,300, but I got 17, and then I didn't take it. Then I got uh, 15, and I just took it. Um, and I was glad that I finally just took it. But that was that trade. Now the pretty big amazing trade that I had October 1st was AVIR. Um, don't mind this negative 3,200 P&L. I believe that's incorrect. Um, I don't know. I think they're just having a bug right now, but you can see in my trade, I don't have a 3,200 P. You can see the trend that I don't have a 3,200 P&L loss. Um, but to go into explaining this trade, um, honestly, I never looked at the volume, not the volume, but the I never looked at the I never looked at the outstanding or the flow or the unrestricted shares or something like that. Or the restricted shares. I don't know which one is which. But all I remember is watching it pre-market, and I saw this right. I saw that it spiked, pulled back, spiked. Then I just saw that it was gonna open up weak. it was pushing and it was just opening up weak, and I could see it. I'm like, yo, you should short here, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna wait till closer to the market open. I always noticed myself shorting too early, shorting the first green day pre-market, and getting my ass handed to me. Mm-hmm. So I told myself that I wasn't gonna do this time. I didn't want to have to deal with that. And then I said, you know what, let's go small. And I didn't even want to go small. So, um, and I don't even think I could have went small with, about 500 or, a couple $1,000s. My risk would have been like 100 or two. But I couldn't even do that because, the stock was a higher price stock. So I missed this massive drop. Um, Let me zoom in. The market was opening very slowly. There was nothing to trade, and as I'm watching it, you know, someone disrupted me and asked me to do a favor for them, and I'm like, sure, why not? The market's slow. This will get my mind off of it. Yeah, I'm gonna miss the open, but it's good because the market's slow anyway. Um, everything was just moving slow. I thought this would be a spike and barely do anything and choppy trend, but it wasn't like that. And I went to go do the favor, and as I'm doing the favor, I look at my phone and like, damn, this stock dropped so much, like a dollar or two, 49 to it was like the first 15 minutes or so. Yeah, it just dropped so much, and honestly, I just chased it really, and I shouldn't have been chasing it, but I know I got in with small size, 300, but didn't realize 300 meant a lot. So, and I made a mistake. I got in with 300 at 44.70. So you just look at it, 44.7 times 300. That's 1,300, $13,000, $13,500. I don't think that's correct. But 44.70 times 300. Yeah, so um, it doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot at all, but my broker wouldn't let me add any more shares the way I wanted to. I think they took me out of margin because I get margin calls so much. But it started perking up, and it started perking up, and as you can see here, I added on, and it continued to perk. But I added on just 200 shares or 100 maybe 200 shares, and then it kept going higher into the point it hit. I got my 200 shares at 45.90. It kept going up even higher to 290. It went up to 45.90, and it kept pushing up to 46.42. So I was down about, I don't remember my average. I think it was like 57, 45, 57. But it pushed up. I think I was down $2 at one point. I don't even remember, but I know I was down big because I know I was down at least 80 cents, and I didn't like that, or maybe a dollar or so. I can't remember what my average was, but was I scared for my life, or not scared for my life, but was I extremely uncomfortable? Of course, yes, I was very uncomfortable. Um, did I have an idea of what it would do? I chased it, and not only that. it wasn't going my way. But I did my best to give it some time, and and remember I said don't mind the $3,200 P&L that it says right here. I think this is an error. Um, but um, um, I was patient. Honestly, I allowed it to trend down, 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 and right here I was up probably over $1,000, and I can't remember what happened, but I told myself, no, I think it was $1,900, and I told myself, get out right here, get out with some or all your shares. Is gonna bounce, and you want to add on to the bounce. And honestly, I'm not good with that strategy because I don't practice it enough. I'm not disciplined enough as well. But when the time came, I didn't do it, and it started bouncing against me, and I was down like I wasn't down on my trade, but I had gave back like majority of it. I probably was just up probably the most. I probably was just up about $300 to $400 or more. And I was really disappointed in myself, really, because it was just like, bro, what the fuck, man? You had a golden ticket, you didn't take it. Plus, you could have shorted um, higher and gotten way more money and then take it. But I just let it ride, honestly, and it just thankfully it went my way little by little. Just breaking levels. Of course, it broke this level. Um, yeah, so it broke this level and it broke this level. Put it back up, broke it again, and then broke it again. Remember stocks, just with stocks, you see these big breaks right here and here. It doesn't mean the stock is done or and over with. It just means it cracked another level, and you can't just trade off of that. But, eventually, I finally got out. Um, I got out for $2,200, 22.75, 22 $2,275 gain. Um, I was able to walk away pretty nice. But then again, but then after that, I made a dumb decision. Um, I told myself to be careful with short and just bounce because, um, you don't want to get back your gains and you should just walk away and be done. But it started bouncing, and I didn't give it enough time to bounce. Um, I saw that it was like just hitting 12, and I was like, okay, this is done for. And I shorted here, and I added here, and it just kept spiking against me. Honestly, it just kept spiking against me, and it broke this high. And at this point, I was down. I think I gave back so much that I was only up $900 to $800, maybe $700. I gave back over $1,000 in gains, and I didn't think to use these resistance points. I just used this one. But if you look here, it's 43.32, and I got in at okay, so it's 43.32, 43.92. Okay, so it broke this point, but you know, which is great, honestly. But I probably didn't realize that, or I probably was like, okay, it broke it and came crashing down, so that's it. But the main thing is, I shorted too low from this perk. This pullback right here, I shorted too low. But of course, I thought, it was going to just keep going down. And then I added on a smaller perk here. Um, and as you can see here, each low is higher. You know the stock is going up, and I didn't do that, and eventually the stock, kept perking up, and broke this low right here, this higher, this lower high. It broke it, and you know, then it pushed up past here and broke it again. I was down over $1,000 here, but thankfully, probability was on my side. It started going down. I made 23. I made my money back. I broke even. I only lost $25 on the second trade, which was good, but very bad because my discipline was horrible. I ended up losing more. But I ended up covering after hours, and after hours didn't really give me what I was looking for. But I had no choice, and I got out with I got out luckily because the shit started perking up after hours. Um, I couldn't even get out. Shit was so fucked up that I finally just got out. Never trade after hours for real. I know you probably think it might just come cracking on after hours. Maybe you're right, but it's honestly not worth it. Same thing with pre-market, but pre-market you have a bit more advantages. Don't long after hours, that's for damn sure. Never long after hours. Um, but other than that, I think I did pretty well. No, I don't think I did pretty well. Um, I just wrote down on this stock that I need room for improvement. The other stocks were the stocks just unfolded and went my way. I wrote down that that was very disciplined. It was a very disciplined trade, but really it wasn't a disciplined trade at all. Excuse me. Um, you can't say, okay, you're being disciplined because the stock immediately just went your way as soon as you started betting for it or against it. It's really just the discipline comes from when you're in the moment. What do you do? How do you react? Can you stick to your plan? That's what makes you disciplined and mindful. So I did none of that. So I don't give myself any credit. But all I can say is that um, yeah, I'm up about 18,000 and up 18,000 up 18,000. Yeah, up 18,000. So God forbid, I do believe God forbid that the stock or not the stock, but any trade about that I lose a large amount replenish my account. I don't I don't want that to happen, but if God forbid it does, um, I got 18,000 in reserve, not even 18,000, 15 now, because I paid off my first bill. Um, I got a substantial amount of money down, so that if let's say I lose over 500, which I have in my account, I have to go into my savings and take that out to replenish my account, which I don't want to. So I just been trying to be careful, but it's not like I'm gonna get back the whole 18,000. Um, uh, I rather pay at least half of what I owe, 13, 12, 12 and a half. I'd rather pay half of what I owe back to Lisa Marie, my friend. You know, pay her back first before I lose the whole 15. So in my mind, I'm gonna tell myself that okay, you don't really have 15,000. You have the difference from 13, from 12 and a half. So I got a little bit over 2,500. to fund myself if I happen to perform well. Honestly, I was thinking about giving back some of the funds. I was thinking about giving back some of the funds so that I don't fuck up. Um, and it's also a way of preventing me from being undisciplined. But um, I don't know yet. I'm just always withdrawing the funds out of my account every time I have a profitable day of over 500 to 1,000. I'm taking it out. Um, but yeah, man. Like Monday, today's Sunday now. Tomorrow, Tom Brady's about to play against the Patriots. My mind is focused on that. Plus, I got an exam. And I don't know how I'm gonna pass. But excuse me. My focus for trading right now is just it's not about making the money. It's really about being mindful and being disciplined and cutting losses. I also wrote down my my goal for this month, my calendar like I do every month. And let me read it out loud so I can remember. Um, yeah, I wrote down a few extra things. Last month, September was. This month is just to trade small, cut losses quickly, trade safe first, and not focus on the money. And I did the complete opposite all month, um, except for like the last few days. So I guess you can call that improvement because I haven't been doing that at all. But I did the complete opposite my goal this month. But this month, October, my goal is trade small and safe. Trade small and safe. Um, Entries has to be close to resistance. Whether I'm shorting first red day or first green day, um, resistance have to be close. If it's your first green day and it's spiking out the gate, let it spike and let you see some weakness and it's starting to turn, and then you can short. Don't go full size. Add on with or add on to a bounce, or don't add on at all. On a shorting a first green day bounce or first red day bounce, um, the rules are the same. Um, then I also added stay above PDT. Um, you got 25,500 in your account. That's all you're being left with. Don't mess that up, man. Trade small so that you can build. Let's start off this month. You already started off this month with a good day. Let's start off this week. Um, Pretty good. Stick to criteria of my trading and recognize exits and execute. So sticking to my criteria for the trade, like I said, shorting your resistance, shorting your first red day. If you're gonna short your first green day, you need to see that it's overextended, highly manipulated. If you're in a low float, and if you don't see that, don't short. Look for something. Look for a continuous green day that's overextended substantially. And then when it starts going your way and you surely have a good entry, recognize good exit points and when to get out, and make sure you execute the exit points and get out. Don't look back and think about the money right before you exit. You're worried about the money. Just trade mindfully, and just like Rondo Howell said, he said it clear to me. He said, there's multiple parts to being a mindful trader. The first part is understanding that you're biologically an emotional being. but while you're trading, you're gonna start realizing, hey, my muscles are tensing, my breathing's getting heavy, um, and that's I'm starting to feel some arousal, and that's just emotions kicking in. And when you start feeling those emotions kick in, take deep breaths. Take deep breaths, and he said something. Ever try to relax the muscles, but if you don't do that, or you don't do that fast enough, then your emotions are going to start to take over. You're going to have that. You call it something, but you're gonna start hearing the voices talking in your head. There's a word for it, diaphragm or diagram, or talking. Give me a second. Thank you for calling. I can help you. Thank you for calling. I can help you. Hey, how you doing? Yes. Just one. Okay, give me 1 second. So, yeah. Sorry about that. But, then the diaphragm or diagram, people, you hear those voices in your head talking, and as you let them take over, they get worse. And one thing I realized is you have to um, regulate it. Uh, you have to regulate it, and you have to. You're gonna hear those negative voices. You don't ignore them. You just regulate them. And the way I do it is, if I hear myself saying, "Oh, you're stupid," or I'll be like, No, I'm not. I'm very intelligent. I'm not. My mistakes doesn't define me or whatever." And then I one of the that I hear a lot. I can't remember it, but I know I say thank you a lot. Like not in a good way, but thank you. Like so, for instance, um, let's say I was supposed to cover here, and it doesn't. I'm sorry, I'm using my finger. Let's say I'm supposed to cover here, and I don't, and it squeezes upon me. I'm just like, okay, thank you, in a sarcastic way. But that's just emotions and taking over. There's other thoughts and emotions that I get. Um, they're really negative, but I just talk to myself and be like, "You're not who. You're not this. You're not your mistakes. You're not a fuck up. You're not nothing. You're just an intelligent person, and you're just trading something that's not perfect, and trading is not perfect, and this is not who you are. You are not your mistakes." And then I start thinking about like my issues with my ex and how we broke up and how I have so many regrets and all those personal issues that I had that I didn't deal with enough start hitting. And I just remind myself I'm not that. That's not who I am. And I'm not gonna let that take over me. And I don't motivate myself. I just verify my true self. You know, because you don't want to motivate yourself too much because that can be bad. But then I wrote here, cut losses quickly and trade small. Um, cutting losses has been my hardest problem, but I know the main reason why I'm having a hard time cutting losses quickly is um, because um, I'm sizing in too big. So if I size in smaller, I won't have to worry about cutting losses quickly because I'm not losing much. So hey, I'll take that. And then focus on the pattern and improve. Um, you know, Many times, like as you see here, um, in the beginning of this short. It's trending. I will like after it did his big drop, I'll start shorting lower day or close to lower day when I should recognize the pattern and short from like near higher day or a key resistance point. Those are my. This is an important factor for me because it's like, yo, you can't be doing that now. Um, Not only that, I need to improve. I just need to get better. And that's gonna be time, and I just gotta keep studying. But those are my main focuses. Um, the books I really want to start reading, and I'm gonna write this down too, is that for my goal of the month is to read, um, you know, read mindful trading plus tax book because I'm doing some stuff with taxes for trading. So that's my trade, and tomorrow let's see what happens. And I've been studying this weekend, trying to get my mind right. So we'll see. Thank you.